I thought I had the perfect family. But one glitch in our smart speaker led me to a truth I wasn't ready for. My wife was cheating with my friend in my home. And my son, the boy I raised with all my heart. He's not even mine. Don't miss the next twist. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell for more interesting stories like this. I'm posting this from a throwaway because my main account is known by a lot of people in my life, and I don't want this story to be traced back to me. I don't even know if I want advice, or validation, or just to scream into the void. Because this week, my world collapsed quietly, with no dramatic explosion, just a dull, numb descent into betrayal. I, 34M, have been married to my wife, Allison, 32F, for 6 years. We've been together for 10. We have a 5-year-old son, James. Or, at least, I thought he was mine. That sentence still doesn't feel real to write. We met in college, classic story. She was the smart, funny girl in my 300-level psych class who would always challenge the professor, and I was the introverted tech guy who never raised his hand but always had the highest quiz scores. I tutored her once. That was all it took. We moved in together after graduation. Got married 3 years later. Life was simple, steady, and happy, or so I believed. I work in cybersecurity, mostly remote. She became a dental hygienist, working part-time since James was born. James. God, that boy changed my life. I used to be so selfish with my time, my space, my energy. And then he arrived, this tiny, screaming, red-faced thing, and somehow made me softer, stronger, and more awake all at once. I taught him to walk, to say dada, to throw a baseball. He made me feel like I was doing something right in a world full of chaos. About 2 months ago, I started noticing weird things. Small, stupid things. Like our smart speaker in the kitchen and Amazon Echo we've had forever playing romantic playlists in the middle of the day. Or the lights turning off on their own during hours when only Allison was home. I checked the device history one day while waiting for a Zoom meeting to start, just out of boredom. But something in me twisted when I saw the commands. They were voice-activated, which meant someone had to physically be there. Play bedroom mix. Dim lights. Turn off kitchen camera. Wait. What? I didn't even know the kitchen camera could be turned off by voice. That set off alarm bells. I asked Allison about it casually that night, joked that maybe the Echo was haunted. She laughed. Shrugged it off. Said James probably played with it. But James doesn't know our commands. And that camera one? You have to say a specific code phrase to disable it. So I started digging. Quietly. Carefully. I set up an additional, hidden camera, a fake phone charger, in the living room. I backed up the smart speaker logs. I noted the times the commands were issued and cross-referenced them with my office days. Every time I was gone, she used the speaker for music, lights, or camera control. Then I checked the photos on our shared iCloud. At first, nothing. Then I noticed a hidden album named Saved. It was locked with Face ID, but I accessed it when she was asleep. I feel horrible even saying that, but if you were in my shoes, you'd do the same. There were photos of her and another man. A man I knew. Eric. My gym buddy. The guy who always joked about how lucky I was to have a hot wife. The one who came over for beer and Sunday night football. Who sat across from me at dinner. Who held my son in his arms and called him little man. There were selfies of them in bed. Kissing in the kitchen. A boomerang of them sipping wine in our backyard. I watched the hidden camera footage the following Thursday. I already knew what I'd see, but I still couldn't stop myself. At 1:52 p.m., she let him in. He brought wine. She laughed the way she used to laugh with me. They kissed like teenagers. They F***ed on the couch, on the floor, and finally in our bed. I didn't sleep that night. My hands shook the whole time. I felt like a ghost inside my own home. But what broke me wasn't the betrayal. It was a memory. Years ago, when Allison was pregnant, we had a dinner with Eric and some friends. There was a joke someone made, "Hey, if that baby comes out looking like Eric, we'll know something's up." And Allison laughed way too hard. I remember it clearly. She was even tipsy and said, "Well, he was the first guy I made out with in college, so." Everyone laughed, including me. But now, that joke echoed in my skull like a curse. So, I got a DNA test. I had to lie to do it. Said it was for a medical record update. Took a cheek swab from James. Sent it in. Last week, the results came. Probability of paternity, 0.003%. I stared at that paper for an hour, unable to breathe. My son, my little boy who I stayed up with during teething, who calls me daddy, who draws pictures of us together at school, was not biologically mine. I didn't tell her immediately. I spent 2 days walking around in a fog. I couldn't eat. Couldn't sleep. Could barely look at her without wanting to scream. Then, on Monday night, I confronted her. I sat her down and asked, "How long has it been going on?" She froze. Stared at me. Tried to play dumb. But I laid it all out, the echo logs, the photos, the camera footage. Her face fell like a mask cracking. She cried. Said it was just a stupid mistake that spiraled. Claimed she never meant for it to happen, that it wasn't real, that I was the one she loved. I asked her point blank, "Is James his?" She didn't answer. Just looked down and cried harder. That was all I needed. She's now staying at her sister's. I told her I needed space and that I was contacting a lawyer. But the truth is, I don't know what to do. I love James. I raised him. He's my son in every way that matters except one. And now, I lie awake at night wondering if one day he'll look at me and see a stranger. I feel hollow. Like everything I built was made of paper and someone finally struck a match. I didn't just lose a wife. I lost the story I told myself about my life.